How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? I am Dave B and I sell Chevys. Today we're going to do a quick, short, to the point video about the brand new Chevrolet 2021 Tahoe. We're going to compare it to this 2015 here and just kind of highlight some of the changes that were made. Obviously, when you look at the two, we can see that this is a brand new model. It's the next evolutionary change. The 2015 here on the right, they built it this style from 2015 right up to 2020. And here is the brand new model that they designed. So, you know, if you're familiar with Tahoe, you will be familiar with this as soon as you get in it, you know, as far as, you know, buttons, knobs, features, things of that nature. This new Tahoe is bigger, which I think is what a lot of people were looking for. And that's really what we're going to highlight in this video. One of the reasons you buy a vehicle of this size is because you need space, right? You need space for the family, you need space for the dogs, cargo, gear, you know, depending on what kind of lifestyle you have, you need room. And that's really where this 2015 to 2020 style sort of lacked, because in the back here, behind the third row, you had very little space. You know, this was more of a vehicle that I sold here when somebody, you know, didn't want something as big as a Suburban and didn't always necessarily use the third row, because you just press these buttons. This has power, some are manual, but you press these buttons, you fold this down. Now you have either a 4-passenger or with a bench seat, a 5-passenger vehicle with plenty of cargo and a third row when you need it. But if you needed the third row, you know, you really lacked space here in the cargo area. That's why every time I showed a Tahoe to a client, I also showed them a Traverse, and I also showed them a Suburban, which a lot of times the Suburban was just too much or too big. Well, now in the brand new Chevy Tahoe to 2021, that's no longer going to be a problem. 66% more space in the back. You can see with the third row seat up, you have considerable amount more space. You also don't have that compartment that was built in the back of that other Tahoe that kind of lifted the floor up higher. If you look here, you'll see this was built up. It's got some storage in it, but this is so when the seats fold flat, everything's nice and level. Here we can drop these seats flat and you get the entire opening of your cargo area. You don't have to worry about that 3 or 4 inch lip that you have here in the previous generation. So just a tremendous amount more space behind the third row, and they did that by extending this vehicle about 6.7 inches in length. So this vehicle is definitely longer than the previous generation. The next thing we're going to touch on is actual space for passengers. Now, I'm a good example of how people fit in a vehicle. I am 6'5", about 210 pounds, and you know, pretty much I always feel like if I can fit, well, most people can fit. So here we are in the front seat. I set this up in this 2015 Tahoe where I'm comfortable sitting, where I would sit in a proper driving position. Let's see how I fit in the second row. Okay, not bad in the second row. My knees just basically clear the seat. I have headroom. You know, it feels good. It feels comfortable. I wonder what the third row is like. Well, I have headroom, that's for sure. But as you can see, I'm sitting and my knees are basically almost in my chin. The seat is literally almost right on the floor, and it's very tight. My feet are already starting to fall asleep. As you can see, when you're sitting in the third row, you're about 7, maybe 8 inches off the floor there. And underneath this vehicle, if you look, this is a 5-link coil spring suspension design. And you know, when you're in the back seat of this Tahoe, you're literally sitting right on top of it. Let's see how that compares to the 2021. Now, under the 2021 Chevrolet Tahoe, you have a nice new independent rear suspension. And what that's going to do is it's going to free up a lot of space in the interior. Because if you have less suspension components underneath the vehicle, you can actually drop the floor down lower, and check it out. This third row seat is about maybe a solid foot above the floor, which is going to give you more leg room, and your feet are going to drop further down on the floor, which is going to give you more comfortable sitting position. Now we're going to do the same seat test on the 2021 Chevrolet Tahoe, but before we do that, let's look at the difference in the side mirrors, because it's a big difference. This is a 2020 style mirror. This is a 2021 style mirror. 2020, 2021. As you can see, it's a lot bigger. One of the #1 complaints we got about the car in my experience selling them when we went from 2014 to 2015 was the mirrors shrunk so small. And this is a big truck. You know, you want to have a nice size mirror on it. I'm assuming they did that for aerodynamic purposes or something like that. But just looking at the difference, I mean, these new mirrors are massive compared to the old ones. So you can definitely feel confident driving down the highway and having a nice field of view out each side mirror. Passenger side, no different than the driver, of course. All right, so let's do our seat test. Right now, I am inside the vehicle. I am pretty much where I would sit. Again, at my height, 6'5". I'm comfortable. I got good visibility. I got good distance with my legs to the dash. This is pretty much where I'm comfortable and where I would sit. So let's see how I'd fit in the second row. Second row feels about the same as the last generation model. I have, you know, a little bit of space between my knees and the seat. I'm comfortable. I'm sitting in a good position. I got headroom, so it's nice. But there's one difference to the 2021, which the last generation did not have, and that's a switch like this one right here, or I should say a handle. Lift this up and check it out. I can slide this seat back and give myself more room. Or if I need more room in the third row, I can slide it back forward. This is the difference of how much you can move these seats. That's about 2.5 inches forward and another 1.5 inches back. I would say probably about 4 inches worth of travel that you can move these seats to select or adjust where you need the leg room, whether it be in the third row or the second row. Let's check out the third row and see how I fit back there. This is an LT model with the bench seat. You can get bucket seats as an option where you can kind of just pass through the middle. That's what I did in the last truck. Here, we're just gonna lift this lever ×2. So we're gonna lift it once, it drops the seat. You lift it again, it brings it up. Super easy to do, very, very little effort. You also have a much wider opening here to get in and out. So for an adult or someone that has to get in and out of this third row, it's gonna be a little easier than it was in the last generation. See the old school space? New school space. Old school, new school. Check this out. I'm sitting upright. I have headroom. I have leg room. You know, my knees are just scraping this seat. This seat is in the same exact spot it just was when I was sitting in it. So again, if I needed to move this seat forward, I can to give myself a little extra room. You see, I moved this up forward, so I have a little bit extra leg room. I now have a lot of space between my knees. My feet are more flat on the floor. My knees aren't into my chest, and it's actually a comfortable ride. Like if I had to sit in here for a trip, you know, it's comfortable. I can definitely do it. And here's something that's very important as well. Let's say your children are sitting in the back and you have like a 10-year-old in the back or an 11-year-old or something like that, and they have to get out of this third row, and you have this model that does not have the power folding seat. All they do is pull this strap, and check out how easy this is. Super simple. So as you can see, the vehicle's been improved as far as like size, for cargo space, for passengers. You know, the mirrors are bigger. It's gonna have basically everything, again, that was great about this vehicle is here with improvements. Here's another improvement. It seems like something simple, right? This has power folding third row. You press the button, the seat folds down. But do you see the headrest? This headrest you have to manually drop. You gotta press the little button and then you gotta push the thing down. Then you can fold the seat all the way flat. Here in the 2021, whether it's power or this one is manual, as soon as you lift this, your headrest is gonna drop by itself, the seat's gonna fold down. One less step for you, a little easier, a little quicker. Another item in the last generation, which was pretty much a Tahoe staple, was your column shift, which is, you know, very easy to use. Who doesn't like a nice column shift? However, in a new 2021, you don't have the column shift, but you have a very intuitive pull and push system. Pull for drive, pull for reverse, press for park. You even have a low button where you can use tap shift to tap through the 10 different gears. This is a 10-speed automatic transmission in this truck, which is also another improvement to mention. Another improvement, the wireless charging pad in the previous generation 2020 Tahoe. This is an S10 Plus with a case on it, and it doesn't fit. It doesn't sit correctly in here, which means you don't see that little green lightning bolt on there, and it's not charging. In the 2021, this is not the charging pad anymore. It's down here, and look, it's huge. You can drop your phone anywhere in there, and then we should see that little green lightning bolt light right up. So what do you guys think? Do you like the changes so far? I mean, it's bigger, it's better, it's more functional, it's more versatile. You know, it's a smarter design, a smarter layout, and it's awesome. We're super excited here. We do very well with Tahoe Suburban, even Traverse, Equinox, you know, with Chevrolet SUVs and crossovers. And we're just super excited to be able to offer this to the public and be able to sell it. So I appreciate you watching this video. Hopefully you got some insight or you got some knowledge out of it. If you did, please hit the subscribe button, like the video, because that's gonna pass it out to YouTube and get it in front of more people so they can be educated as well. And stay tuned for more Tahoe videos, because as we get them in, they're selling fast. We already got like 5 in and they sold basically immediately. The one I'm sitting in right now is the only one we have at the moment. That is sold, but it's gonna get picked up later in the week. So I said, let me come down here Sunday morning and put a video together. If you're interested in what it's like to be a car salesman, check out the Dealership Life vlog series I'm doing. That's right over there. And you know, yeah, man, hit that subscribe button. It'll help me out and make me smile.